Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of a JJRC H20H altitude hold hexacopter supplied courtesy of Banggood.com. Now, this is an upgrade of a very popular previous H20, but now this is the H20H having the altitude hold, and for a beginner this is actually very good because it does help make it a lot easier to start off flying with when you don't have to manage the altitude at the same time. Being a hexacopter, has 6 motors as opposed to a quadcopter with 4, as most of you well know, and it comes in this nice box. As you can see, this is the yellow and black one. It also comes in red and black. Now this is a good, sturdy, strong little box. Okay, and then inside the box we've got this molded plastic with the quadcopter on top. Sorry, hexacopter. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Okay. Then we get the TX radio control transmitter. Okay, nice feel to it. It's got sort of studs at the back here, so it feels though you're gripping onto something and not just a smooth flat plastic, which is good. Okay, with it we get the instruction manual, and as you can see, quite colorful. It's a very good quality paper. It's in English and Chinese. Okay, but so we'll have a closer look at that shortly. Okay, we get a little star Phillips screwdriver. We get a USB charger for the battery. Okay, and we get 6 spare propellers, 4 black and 2 yellow, so always good to have spare propellers. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the hexacopter itself. So this has got a 6-axis gyro, which most copters come with nowadays, which is good for extra stability, balance and performance. Now this is quite flexible, and it's got a rubber feel and finish to it, so you know it seems to be more made of rubber rather than plastic, so it's good to have this flexibility, but it's still strong and should be very durable. Okay, underneath we've got the battery that comes with it. Okay, and this is a 3.7 volt 150 mAh battery that should be good for a flying time of about 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, got a tiny little on and off switch here. Okay, so you know it's good, you could leave the battery plugged in and then you just need to turn on the on and off switch. Let me just connect the battery up here. Okay, let's just turn it on and see what happens. Okay, so we got a red LED light at the back, we've got a blue LED light in the front. Not sure how well we'll be able to see this during the day, but it should be fairly visible in the dark. Okay, so just switch that off for now. Very strong little prop guards. Okay, and the prop guards are held on with a single screw at the bottom. Okay, tiny little motors. Okay, so fairly well cooled, you know, a huge vent on either side and vents at the bottom, so that's good. And if we look at the propellers, these are quite flexible, so not too rigid, so it won't damage too easily. So this is good, nice. And the propellers actually just pull off and pull on, so you always just make sure that they're on securely. Then let's have a look at the radio TX control transmitter. Okay, so the nice feel to it. You know, on the back here, it's not, you've got little indentations, so it feels like you've got quite a good grip. A fairly nice size for a small controller like this, and does feel good and strong and comfortable. Now it comes with a screw here, which I've removed already, and you need to supply your own AA batteries. So take 2 AA batteries, and then this clips back on, but this latches in quite securely, so you don't really need to have the screw in there. Okay, so we turn it on. This is the main power button here. Okay, so then we've got a button on top here, and this is to adjust your speeds, 3 variable speeds. Okay, and you also get a H20C, which is a camera version, so not relevant to this model, but then a long press would enable you to take a photograph. Okay, the button on the right here, we press, and then we can do flips and rolls. Okay, and then to stop, release if it doesn't automatically stop that. Okay, now to start the hexacopter, you press down on this left throttle lever. Okay, to start the motors, and to stop the motors you press down on the left throttle lever again. Okay, now on the right here, if we press down, it then goes into headless mode, and to come out of headless mode we press down on the right lever again. This is the forward and backward trim button, and this is the left and right trim buttons. But being a 6-axis gyro, if you calibrate it properly, you should not really need to use the trim buttons. Okay. Okay, then to bind we need to move the left throttle lever up and down, and then it binds with the quadcopter. Then to calibrate you need to have it on a level surface. Pull both sticks down to the bottom and then to the right, and you can see the lights will flash, and when it stops flashing, that's the calibration done. Then start the motors, press down on the left lever, and as you can see, now motors are gone. To stop the motors, we press down on that. Now this should have a range of about 30 meters, which is good because, you know, it's a small craft, so, you know, you're not going to really see it further than 30 meters away. But if you do lose control and it does go out of range, let's see what will happen. So we switch the controller off, 1001, 1002. So basically within in about a second, it's going to, the motors are going to power down and it's going to drop wherever it is. Now if you can't find it and it's still got enough battery power, let's see if we can reconnect with it. So turn it on, don't forget to press the bind, throttle lever up and down. Yes, you can start the motors again and hopefully be able to hear it, particularly if it's stuck up in a tree or somewhere, and you might hear the motors spinning or something rustling. Okay. And if we have a closer look at the manual, okay, the important thing is that it tells us what the functions are of the TX radio transmitter controller. So fairly well, tells you fairly well, and also very importantly at the bottom it tells you how to do the calibration. Okay. Then, you know, binding of the radio transmitter, so I've showed you that already. Press the throttle lever up and down again. How to install blades or the propellers. Putting batteries into the TX radio control transmitter. changing the battery on the craft itself. Okay, so information about lithium batteries. Okay, and then just some tips on how to fly and that. So the English isn't very good and a little bit difficult to read, but you know, most of the information you require is in here. Not the easiest manual for a beginner, but sufficient nonetheless. Okay, let's start the motors up and take off. Oh wow, okay, so wow, it goes up quite fast, and oh, look at that, maintaining altitude very well. This is quite impressive. Very stable, very nice. Okay, let's stop the motors and see what happens. Okay, so we stop the motors and it comes down and lands automatically. Okay, so quite confident, it flies well indoors. Let's take it outdoors and see how it flies outdoors. So quadcopter's on, TX is on, bind. Okay, that's bound. Let's calibrate, sticks down, bottom right. Lights are flashing, gone solid. Okay, I'm going to time the flight. Let's start the clock. Let's go. Okay, so yes, takes off very nicely, very stable. Hopefully we can see it okay. Now this is in the low rate. Oh, hit a twig there. Okay, forward, up, back. Oopsie, come back here. Well navigated there. Okay, flying very stable, very good. Let's put it up a rate. Yeah, it's a little bit faster. Let's see if it'll do a flip. Oh yes, very nice. Do that again, closer. Do a roll. Really flying nicely, and this altitude hold is good. Okay, let's put it up to the high rate. There we go, and high rate now. Oh, very quick. Okay, we're into the sun. Let's get out of the sun. Wow, that's the yaw in high rates. Just makes me dizzy looking at it. Wow, that is really fast. Okay, so orientation, we can see the little red light at the back, but not so easy to see the light in the front here, unless we're very, very close. Wow, this flies really nicely. Yeah, a little bit difficult to keep orientation. See how it flips in a low rate. Oh, it flips quite well in the low rate too. There, it wants to hold the altitude up again. Okay, really flies nicely. Up. Take you across there. Turn you around, bring you back. Really stable, really steady. Going well. How are we doing time wise? 3 minutes 20 seconds. Let's bring it back here and do a little bit more acrobatics. There we go. Do a forward flip. Do a left roll. Do a right roll. You're back. Really stable and nippy and agile. Flies nicely. Hope you can still see it in the camera. Still is a bit tiny. Okay, not holding altitude. Okay, wanting to hold altitude. But it does make it a lot easier, you know, if it's got the altitude hold, especially if it's very fast and nippy. And yeah, it's another branch, but still manages to stay up okay. Wow, really is nice. Okay, let's try the headless mode. So press down on the right stick once. Yes, headless mode works well. Take it out of headless mode. Bring it around again. Okay, hit the sticks, recovered. So we're just going to keep it going now and see how much flying time we're going to get. Still going well. Oh, okay. That's flying time over. Stop the clock. Okay, 6 minutes. So, very good. Nice flying time. Great flyer. Really impressed with how stable it is. Okay, so really a nice looking little hexacopter. Flies really well, very stable, altitude hold works well. So I'm actually really quite impressed with it, and you know, a good flying time on a 150 mAh battery. And finally, let's see what the JJRC H20H looks like in the dark. Okay, so quite bright. Okay, this is the front. Okay, so quite impressive. You can see the front, definitely see the back of it. Okay, looks good. Try a flip. Try another flip. Yeah. Do a roll, do another roll, okay, let's land it. Very nice, very impressive.